Welcome to WACI School of Languages. In today's lesson, we are going to study the past perfect continuous. We have already learned present perfect, future tense, simple present, simple past, present continuous, past continuous, today past perfect continuous. So let's quickly go to today's lesson. What is past perfect continuous? The past perfect continuous tense expresses an action that took over a certain period in the past and was still going on or taking place. It is formed by using had been plus the ing form of the verb in the sentence. For all persons, both singular and plural, we use the following combination: had plus been plus the present participle. It is used to express an action which was in progress before another one took place. Examples: by the time she came, I had been reading since morning. Before the match began, the spectators had been chanting. The chief had been hiding the cave until the police had a tip-off. Let's see these examples again. Another one. They had been reading since morning. The boy had been watching television for 3 weeks. We had been reading all day. She had been washing since her mother came. Have you seen? When you look on your screen, the first example tells us clearly that we have two actions here, but one started before another one occurred. Example: by the time she came, I had been reading since morning. It means that I started reading by the time the person came. That's what it means. The spectators had been chanting before the match began. So that action started before the match began. And he has been hiding. But when you look at the second sentence, they had been reading since morning. This one is an action that took place in the past and is still going on. If you understand, let's go and do some activities for you to understand it better. Now have a look at these exercises. Fill in the gap with the correct form of the words in the past perfect continuous. Example: it heavily when thunder struck. It had been raining heavily when thunder struck. The sentences: the students, secret meeting when one of them exposed them. Bukari tricks to steal from old dad until he was caught. The family too much about your safety. We life easy until a new government came. What to compel your dad to have disowned you? Now the correct answers. The student had been planning secret meeting when one of them exposed them. Bukari had been using tricks to steal from old dad until he was caught. The family had been thinking too much about your safety. We had been having life easy until a new government came. What had been happening to compel your dad to have disowned you? When you look at the examples here or the activity, you see that we have had been plus the verb in ing form. Had been, it is only had, either singular pronoun or plural pronoun, it is had. Now we continue with the activity. Fill in the gap with the correct form of the verb in the past perfect progressive. Our teacher, until he has enough money and bought a car. The men, the ladies, until the police came in. Mr. Miser, not his rent until he was finally ejected. He, bad things about the headmaster until he took over. So let's go with the correct answer. Our teacher had been saving until he has enough money and bought a car. The men had been terrorizing the ladies until the police came in. Mr. Miser had not been settling his rent until he was finally ejected. He had been saying bad things about the headmaster until he took over. When you look at this one, we have had plus been plus the verb in the ing form. So you can't do the progressive or the continuous form without the ing. So you need the had plus been plus the verb in ing form. We continue with the activities. Use each of the verbs in the present perfect continuous tense to form a sentence. Example, steal. The children have been stealing the oranges until the owner caught them. Visit, fly, cut, speak, and smoke. So what are you going to say? I had been visiting my parents. I had been visiting my parents. The birds have been flying far. The birds have been flying far. The farmer had been cutting the trees. The farmer had been cutting the trees. The teacher had been speaking to the students. The teacher had been speaking to the students. The man had been smoking cigarettes. The man had been smoking cigarettes. All right. The lesson is so interesting that we are going to have to look at a last activity in this one. Okay. Use each of the verbs in the present perfect continuous tense to form a sentence. Look at gossip, take, clean, play, prepare, arrange, draw, catch, consult, and write. We are going to use them. The guests had been gossiping about a stranger. The guests had been gossiping about a stranger. The patients had been taking cigarettes. The lady had been cleaning the room. The teams had been playing for 1 hour. The cook had been preparing food. The students had been arranging their books. The referees had been drawing lines on the field. The children had been watching television. The engineer had been consulting the workers. And the candidate had been writing the lesson. Have you seen? It's so simple and so easy. Just use had plus been plus the verb in the ing form, which is the present participle. All right. I think you understand now the past perfect continuous. We have done some activities. You can choose to do your own. The better stay if you do not understand this forum. It is an interactive one. You can ask questions and get replies. We'll meet next time for the future perfect, because we are dealing with perfect things. Next time for future perfect. Thank you very much for being part of this lesson. We hope to hear from you by asking questions. Merci, au revoir.